Welcome back, friends, to That Was Pretty Jolly. My name's Alexis Cardoza. I'm here with the one, the only Miss Deana, the Queen Buzz. And today...
We're a little redder.
Yeah, a little redder.
Darker.
You went a little dark. Let's just talk about life before we get into this film. What have you been up to? Are you in the Christmas spirit?
I'm a friggin' present over here.
Look at you. Let's just unwrap it all today, right here.
Shout out to Staycation, Krista Horton's line. I love her stuff. I have a funny one too. It says Hot Mess Express, but it's like a train ticket. Yeah, like
I love that.
Yeah, I have a first class ticket to the Hot Mess Express. That's me.
I mean, I feel like that in 2024, that's everyone's life as of late. Everything's just a hot mess. I'll be wearing, of course, my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pizza party Christmas shirt, baby. Let's go. Are you ready for the holiday season? Are you feeling it? Are you excited? Have you started decorating? Listen, I for one already decorated. So, I'm missing the tree, but that's coming.
No. Okay. So normally we will put all the decorations up after Thanksgiving, but my son asked if we could put the
Yes, right.
My son asked if we could put the Christmas tree up, so we're gonna do it tomorrow.
Nice. And by the way, hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. And I hope everyone had a very, very
holly jolly.
No, not holly
Stuffy
jolly.
Turkey Day.
Maybe.
Right, you can be holly and jolly for
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
That's true. Yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves and were fat and happy.
You gotta wear those expandable pants.
And I really do hope everyone enjoyed last week's episode. Christmas with you, with the one and only Freddie Prinze Jr. With you, correct.
With you.
Christmas with you.
With you.
As opposed to without you, which he did mention is the next one.
I would like to be in that one.
Yeah, of course you would.
Like Christmas without you.
Christmas without you, just crying. This is a horror film. I want it to be a horror film. I want to be one of the dead bodies in the background.
Wait. What? But okay.
How did you feel? How did you feel sitting down and talking to Freddie Prinze Jr. And getting a chance to ask some really cool questions and talk about the film? And I mean, I love how he went in depth as well with the whole situation with, like, you know, plugging him into the system, and the algorithm kind of just told everyone that he'd be great for a holiday film, and that's like where he landed, and he loved it.
I mean, I thought he was just like you and I sitting here, a conversation. Did I have a moment where I was like, I mean, of course, but I think because I've been interviewing people of, like, whether they're celebrities, reality TVs, fashion icons. I mean, let's be honest, Vince Camuto, like, that was my shocking moment. But he's so down to earth and so cool. And just so relatable. So I don't know, like, that just made it such an easy, like, conversation instead of like question answer.
Sure, yeah. Which is it's one of the things that makes me a super producer, is just being able to put together a show that doesn't have to be question and answer, just a great conversation.
Okay, let's not give you all the credit here, though. You could be the super producer, but if you have a horrible co-host, or you have someone who you work with that's just like subpar, it's gonna be the worst. You can edit as much as you want to edit, and you can zhuzh it up, but if they are just like offbeat, forget it. Anyway,
I know that all too
about this hair
well. Today
it doesn't look right in this coloring, though. Like, do you?
We're not talking about the hair today. That's a totally different movie. You guys can go check that out.
It's important. You're such a hater.
I am not a hater. Get it? Hair dear. Listen, it looks great. I complimented you immediately when you had it done. So
no, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Of course I did.
Show me the screenshots.
First, we're going to talk about the holiday. That's what we're here for. That's
the movie, The Holiday, not the holiday approaching.
Not the holiday. Well, everyone knows the holiday, but we're talking about the holiday movie.
What a throwback.
What a fun film. Let me tell you guys a little bit about it, and then we're going to get Dina's thoughts on it because this is how we do it here. Now, The Holiday was released on December 8th, 2006.
You're right. That long ago?
The Wayback Machine, my friends.
Oh my God, I just graduated college.
18 years ago.
Jesus.
My God, where's time going?
Wait. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I know you don't do math. I know math is sometimes hard, but that's what I'm here for. I do the math for you. It's a romantic comedy written, which, by the way, have we done a rom-com?
No. Well, kinda
because was Four Christmases a rom-com?
Yes,
No, I think it was just a plain comedy.
Maybe you're right. There was like a little dip of the toe of it, but it wasn't like a true rom-com.
But it wasn't like this is a true, and I'll tell you, and we'll get into it, but a great rom-com written by and produced, directed by Nancy Meyers, who's done some other films like Something's Gotta Give and It's Complicated, which I remember watching those as well. And I was just like, oh my God, like after doing some of the research, I'm like, it's crazy how much you don't block out, but there's so many things happening in life that you forget about these films that you watched in the past, and then they just kind of click back in. The movie stars Kate Winslet as Iris, Cameron Diaz as Amanda. We'll talk about her performance on this. We have your favorite Jude Law.
Oh my God.
Playing Graham.
All pass.
And Jack Black as Miles. Anyone would love Jack Black as a hall pass.
Jack Black.
It's a story of two women from two different parts of the world who are feeling unluckily in love, right? Maybe so. Yeah. I feel like they've just don't have any.
They flatlined. Like game over.
Flatlined, yeah. They decided to swap homes for the holidays, which we'll also get into after I get your feels of the movie. I think the film was heartwarming. They took some risks. They kind of stepped outside of a little bit of that comfort zone of a true rom-com that kind of doesn't, get a little promiscuous, right? I want to say, like, there were some scenes here and there, nothing too crazy, but and they find love, which is what a true rom-com is about, is finding love. But before we get into anything else, Deana, tell me, when did you watch this movie? Did you watch it years ago, or is this the first time you watched it? And tell me your overall feel of the entire film.
No, I've watched it when it came out. I watched it obviously before recorded, to freshen up.
Sure. Yeah.
I've watched it so many times that I remembered in the beginning of the movie, I'm like, oh no, that's part of a movie. Like they're going to like cut to like a movie screen and then Jack Black's on the piano. And I'm like it's a goodie. It's like that 80s movie that you've always loved and you can go back to it and watch and you're not bored and you're not distracted. It is such a goodie because it embodies like what every girl who's like struggling in a relationship and love wants to find. Like you want that Jude Law to like sweep you off your feet, or that Jack Black to just like appreciate you for who you are. And then there's like that happy like love feeling, butterflies. Oh, I love those movies.
I told you how much I hated the Jasper character. I was just like, I was so over him.
But remember I told you too, I feel like he in every movie, he's just the grump. He's a frumpy character.
Yes, 100%.
Or he's like, oh my God, what movie is he in where he's just like a villain?
He's always been in villainous roles. Yeah, he has that look though. Like he's built for it. So you said you saw it when it first. Is it a movie that you, when it's on, is a must see for you, or is it something that like you seek out to watch when you're kind of like bored during the holiday season? Does it feel like it's a true holiday flick? For me, it does, but I want to know for you.
I think the first time I saw it though, I didn't watch it during the holidays. Like I think it was like, yeah. And then now I see it pop on more than ever during the holiday season, just because it has that holiday vibes. It also is interesting because like, it's also set in LA, and I don't know, it's hard to see LA Christmas time, like, I'm so used to, like, snow and
Sure, yeah.
Christmassy vibes, but, oh my god, I love that movie. It is such a goodie, and I
It
don't think it's
has
just a chick flick. It's not just a chick flick.
No, it's not. And I was telling you this before. I used to work in Hollywood Video and Blockbuster. Like I just love that era. I was a complete film nerd, and I was just ingesting film after film after film, and it was cool because we got a chance to watch a lot of the films early. This one came out in 2006. I was in the Marine Corps, but years later, after I got out and I was working uh, in Blockbuster and whatever, like I would just grab it and watch it because it was rom-coms for me were cool. I don't know why. Like I just
Love
like them.
this.
The Notebook,
Funny.
um,
Oh my
all
god, The
those films,
Notebook. Oh my god.
all those
What
films.
about A Walk to Remember? That's not really
Oh
rom-com,
my god, A Walk to Remember.
but it's
Yeah,
such a goodie because Mandy Moore,
yeah.
love that
Uh,
girl.
so many good films out there. Rom-coms still kick ass. I don't know why anyone would not want to watch them. Christmas rom-coms are even better. If you're a Hallmark freak, then you know that they're 100% in there. You don't
I
think so?
No, 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 I'm not against Hallmark, but I just
Sure, sure.
it's not my
You know what?
vibe.
So here's a goodie, man. Under the Tuscan Sun.
Wait, isn't that kind of similar to this movie? Oh, no, wait, is that the one with the spigot and she can't get it to work and finally at the end of the movie it works?
I believe so. I don't
Sorry,
remember.
I'm about details. I'm literally looking this up right
May
now
I'll have to
on Canon.
really specifically think about that. But I remember Under the Tuscan Sun, and there was a couple other
Yes,
ones. Is it?
spigot. Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a throwback.
And there was a couple other ones that had Autumn in New York. I think that's the name of it.
I've
Was it
never seen
Autumn in
that.
New York? Is it? But am I making that up?
Autumn
Yeah, no,
in
it's in
New
2000. I
York.
watched it. Yep.
What?
I remember going with my girlfriend to watch it with Richard Gere and Winona Ryder.
I have never seen this.
I was a rom-com lover even in high school, my friends.
He was salt and pepper back there?
Yes,
Damn.
super salt and peppering it up. Yeah.
Oh my god, I just looked at his picture today. It does not look like him at all.
No, there was yeah.
Well,
But
because I know him from Pretty Woman.
yeah. Well, that's an oldie too. Wrangling it back up to the holiday. Let's talk a little bit about these characters. Iris, a
Ugh.
British journalist, is heartbroken over her
Oh, so
love for her
frustrating.
colleague, who I despise, Mr. Jasper, who strings her along
It's a
despite
jerk.
being engaged. He is a big jerk. And just him showing up at the house in California, I had a lot of questions. Did he break through the freaking gate? Because the gate had a code. No one could get in. You would have to call inside
He
to let
jumped
someone in,
over.
unless Juan let him in. I don't know if Juan was working, the landscaper. Um,
He's actually funny in the beginning when he's like
he is.
shaking his head, he's like, dude,
Yeah, he's like,
no,
don't do it. Don't do
no. And the
it.
guy's like, okay, fine. I slept
Yeah.
with her. It's like,
Oh, God.
stupid.
Meanwhile, Amanda, a successful movie trailer producer in Los Angeles, discovers that her boyfriend Ethan has been cheating on her, just like you mentioned. Amanda, who was played by Cameron Diaz. Let's talk a little about Cameron. This is Cameron's, like, I think her very first movie was The Mask, and I remember
I
her
love that.
coming as a supermodel into the acting world. How do you feel about her acting in this film? I felt like it had a couple over the top moments, but it's a rom-com, so I kind of accepted it.
So I was going to say the same thing, but I think she was also in another movie with Christina Applegate and Selma Blair with the same
Yes.
vibe, that same level
Yes.
of acting. I think that's just who she is as a character. I think that it's just the character she plays, because then she's also in that movie, What to Expect When You're Expecting, or something like that, when she's pregnant and she's a fitness coach.
Oh my God, yes.
So, and then there she's over the top too. I honestly think she's just casted as a character who's very expressive, who's like loud with emotions. So based on all her other movies, I'm like, okay, but like the whole part with like the trying to cry, I couldn't I was laughing because it's
Yeah,
kind of funny.
when she was talking to her boyfriend Ethan in the beginning of the film after she threw him out, like there was a lot of moments where
There's so
like
many pauses.
when she like turns around and she like flicks her hair and then comes back around and just kind of
Yeah.
just there was too much going on
I
there
feel like it
for me.
painted her character as an airhead because, like, that's
Yes.
something you know what I mean? But she's this, like, well-known, like, TV person creating all these
Yes.
things, multimillionaire, obviously, look at the house,
Yes.
and it just made her be like it was too much, and then when you got to, like, understand her character of who she really was, it was like, "Oh, that's not really
Yeah.
you."
No, you weren't an airhead. You were
Yeah.
legitimately a powerful woman in a powerful position that
Mhm.
had trouble finding love because you were choosing guys that were basically just a-holes for you.
Well, she had no
Now
self-confidence, so maybe
and
that's why.
yes, that's true too. Yeah. And you
'Cause,
know
like, you
what?
know, when you're, like, low in self-confidence, you over
Yeah,
exaggerate everything to
yeah.
stand out.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense because
Yeah.
she is for as strong as she is in the position that she holds in the film,
Mhm.
she's also very open with her friends and really down to earth and cool. But then she has, like you just said, that moment of, with in love in her love life where that's just like, wow. Now both women are desperate for a change, so they each find each other on a home exchange website. Which, by the way,
Weird.
is this the beginnings of Airbnb?
Airbnb. Yeah.
Like in 2006 on the
Probably.
holiday, did we finally like get the
Maybe.
beginnings of
When
Airbnb?
wait, when did Airbnb start? Let's look this up.
This is something listen, you're the smart one here.
Airbnb
Um,
create
and it's funny because they are talking on
2008.
like what year?
2008.
Yeah, then there you go.
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
beginnings of home sharing started in the holiday. And I'm going to take credit. You and I are going to take credit for finding this. And we're going to put it out there in the web right now that we are the people who found out that this is where Airbnb started. It's crazy to think they were like, what, they were messing each other on AIM or MSN Messenger, whatever they were messaging on each
I don't
other
even know
back
what it was.
then. And they had like this bond immediately. It's just crazy because
I would never.
uh,
I would never,
yeah.
especially with, like, so not,
Were we that
Amanda's
gullible in
house, like,
2006? Like, were we that
no.
open with people?
You mean to tell me, and maybe this is just my character, I think because both of them were such at a low point, they were like, "Fine, whatever," but, like, look at Amanda's house.
I
Who in
know.
their right
I
mind
know.
is
Yeah.
gonna just let some stranger roll up into your house? Like,
Amanda is also like,
no.
whatever, you know?
Well, she just wanted to get away. She could
Yeah,
care
she
less.
wants to get away and she's a trillionaire, so she can just afford to buy another one if she wanted to easily. Like her cleaning crew probably comes in there and redid that house in no time. She probably didn't even charge her a cleaning fee.
Well, they didn't pay for anything because it was a
Right.
swap. So it
It
wasn't
was a
like a true
swap.
Airbnb, it was like a just
That's
swap.
right.
Eh,
Damn it. Iris heads to Amanda's luxurious LA home, like we mentioned that we were talking about, and Amanda moves into Iris's cozy cottage in the English countryside. Which I remember when I went to Cambridge in 2015, I took the train from London into Cambridge and seeing the countryside of England. I mean, picturesque. It was beautiful, and it was exactly like this film. I was
I was
like, oh
I thought
my
you were gonna say
gosh.
you went to go see the house.
No, that would have been cool though. If
Well, I
I would
wonder
have,
if it was even filmed there.
I don't know.
We'll look
I don't.
into.
I haven't gone that far.
I mean,
Maybe
this
it's
is
probably in my notes somewhere
was
in here.
oh,
Um, now the movie takes wild turns when I feel like Cameron Diaz had way more screen time than Kate's character did.
you think so?
I for some reason just felt
I
like
don't know.
her story was just being played out a hell of a lot more. Um,
Yeah, but
I
Kate creates that whole relationship with that award-winning, older
yes, with the
man.
writer. Yes.
Arthur? With Arthur? I
Yeah,
forgot his
yeah.
name.
Writer Guilds of America West. Shout out to you guys. I'm part of the Writers Guild of America East. Let's go. So
I feel like you didn't breathe when you said that. It was like,
I try not to breathe. Remember, I think I've I spoke about this on an episode, and you were like, "Well, breathing is good," and I'm like,
Mhm,
"Yeah, maybe I'll try it."
mhm.
What has breathing ever done? Um, So yeah, I know. And you had the same exact look.
Yeah.
So so Cameron Diaz, like I said before, I felt like her character, she immediately off the bat, like, she meets Iris's brother, um,
I forgot his
who,
name.
yeah. uh,
I can't
and
get it's just Jude Law, that's it.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
very pretty.
He meets Jude. Jude is cool as the other side of the pillow. Very kind-hearted man. Never
What?
once that I ever feel like
What'd you say about the
he would
pillow?
as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Oh, I've never heard that before.
You never heard he's cooler than the other side of the pillow?
No.
Wow.
No.
There you go. You could use that anytime you want.
I am going to not.
You should. It's a very,
He's
very good saying.
cooler than the other side of the pillow?
Yeah, have you ever flipped a pillow over?
He is cooler. He's cooler than the other side of the pillow, is that how you say it?
Yep. Mhm.
Or he's more cooler than the other
No,
side of
you
the
don't say
pillow?
more. No, that makes that really. Now you're really going into your Puerto Rican side, just adding words to the English language.
No, I've
He's
never.
cooler than the other side of the pillow. Yeah, look it up.
Okay.
You do a quick Google search, you'll find it.
I'm okay.
Um, okay, okay. But yeah, I felt like she had a lot of this, like a lot of screen time. Her and Jude. I mean, their chemistry on camera was really well done, man.
Oh my god, yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean,
I don't know. I felt like it didn't feel cheesy to me. I felt like
no, I don't mean
the,
that.
the beginning felt like the acting felt a little bit forced with her first boyfriend who she was trying to break up with. But
Yeah,
once
well,
Jude came into the picture, it was just completely like, okay, cool. Like they did pretty well. Now Kate's on the other hand, Kate is trying to find herself and trying to get away from this savage Jasper mother effer who just won't leave her
God,
alone.
I hate him.
Um, I every time he's in her PDA, sending her messages. Back then we didn't have text messages, so she would have to email him back. Um,
I should have BlackBerry, right?
yeah,
Right,
I
Black
thought it was a Palm Pilot, but you could be right.
Oh,
It
I
could
know.
have been
I
a
never had a
BlackBerry.
BlackBerry, so what do I know?
Yeah, same. Um, so she meets she meets the older gentleman who's the writer, and like she built such a great relationship with him. I think he added to her story really well.
Yeah.
Kind of like giving her life lessons, um, with him
I think
being
it's all about
alone
patience and
and being patient.
acceptance of
Yeah.
who you are.
Let's talk about Jack Black in a rom-com. I loved it. I'm here for it. I don't know why. He looked good. That was a young, spry looking Jack Black, man. I don't remember him ever looking like that. As soon as
Yes,
the
you
movie came back
do.
on, I was just like, oh my God, Jack. There
I
he
was
is.
getting vibes of when he was the substitute in Schoolhouse of wait,
School of
uh,
Rock.
School of Rock. I'm
Yeah,
struggling
but School of
tonight.
Rock wasn't like a rom-com.
No,
It
no, no,
was a
no, it wasn't
comedy.
a rom-com, but when he was, showing Iris his, when he was saying, "Oh, this is gonna be his music, this is his theme music," and then he's like, "Well, yeah, I also wrote theme music for Iris," and he's at the piano, and it's very melodic, it's beautiful, and he's like, "Doodly doo 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 doo,
Well,
doodly
yeah,
doo 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 doo," like, I just was vibing with that.
that Jack Black. Listen, that Jack Black has always been cool. Like he's always had that. But I don't
Wait,
remember what
yes, what about the movie where, He Can't Lie? Isn't that a rom-com too? And that he was
He
in?
Can't Lie.
Yeah, and, Gwyneth Paltrow's in it, and he can't see that she's overweight, he only sees her as
Shallow
really
Hal.
skinny.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that was 2001. Yeah,
Mhm.
is it a rom com?
Yes, because there was comedy moments and there was romantic moments.
Yeah, you're right.
Look at me.
Yeah,
Look at me.
I forgot all about Shallow Hal. To me, Shallow Hal was a comedy.
Mm, I am gonna disagree.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
there was
Yeah, yeah,
something,
yeah. It won a Teen Choice Award for comedy movie. It was
but it's
comedy.
not not a rom-com?
No, it's a comedy, straight up comedy.
Whatever.
I'm
They
not
fell
trying to
in
argue
love.
with you.
They fell in love.
Did they though?
Yes, they did. He found himself at a better position in life and not being so
Oh,
materialistic.
never mind. Okay, so this that I don't. So he won comedy awards, but they wrote it down as an American romantic comedy. There we go. You're right. I never
Sorry.
said you were wrong. I was just
I'm
looking
sorry,
it
but
up.
I'm still over here. Hi, look at me.
I was just
Anyway,
making sure it was all good. I
I
mean, I
appreciated seeing him though in a different light, like not the typical crazy, funny, haha,
right, right,
like a
right. Because
softie.
Shallow Hal to me was very crazy. Haha.
But still soft though. He definitely portrayed that because he couldn't understand why, he was seeing this other in like body type that she has. And when he saw her and he made a mistake and he's like, "What are you
Yeah,
talking about?" He's like, "I love you. I like you." He's very emotional.
he is. I like how they did. She eventually um found like her interest in him because it took a while because they had to tell Jack Black's story as well
Not keep as well. Do you not
with
remember
his
the scene when he first met her and he goes to take something out of her eyelash and they're like
right in
legit
front of each
this
other. Yeah,
close?
yeah.
I was like, "Oh my God." Like that's every girl's dream. Like have the guy of your dreams just come up to you and like just be so close, but you can't kiss them. And it's like they're
Yeah, but at
uh,
that but at that moment, I don't think there was anything there. I think she was like, "Oh, he's doing a good gesture." You know what I'm
no,
saying?
don't you dare tell me
Really?
she felt. Oh my God, you could see in her body language. You could see like if you watch like the breathing in the chest changed, and he was
Uh,
just more
okay.
soft spoken. I'm like,
To me
that's
it
my
was
kind of 50 Shades of Grey right there. Like, let me
I
watch
got
that
you. I
stuff
got
all
you.
day.
Sure. Okay. Go get some stuck in your eye then. Come here. Um,
It's no, it's about the gentle approach. It's about
sure.
like the movement and the way it all unraveled rather than somebody like, "Oh,
No,
sorry, let me see something on your eye."
complete sense. That makes complete sense. Yeah. To me, it just felt like it took a while, just because Cameron Diaz's story just started off so quick. They had sex immediately. Well, they didn't because she was
Well,
passed out
because
drunk.
she
But
thought that
yeah,
she was never gonna see him again.
yeah. So but like I said before, this is why I said in the beginning there was this had a little bit of some risque moments because outside of the traditional rom-com because they and because it's a movie, right? It's not something that's just going straight to TV. It was easier for them to talk about anything, which whether it was sex, anger, anything, like the way that everything that was happening. Like I found it really cool when towards like as the movie's ending and you kind of start getting the gist that Cameron's just gonna move on and go back to Los Angeles. She goes to see him, and when he opened up the door and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm not alone." She's like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to come here." Da 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 da. And she's like, "Oh no," he's like trying to explain it. And out comes his daughter.
Oh,
And then
I love
comes
that
his
part.
second
It's
daughter.
so cute.
I'm like, damn, that spoke to me.
Well, because she instantly thought that he was there with another woman.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So, and it was just like plot twist.
I can't tell you how many times my kids used to stay with me during the weekends, and I had, friends come over all the time. And whenever I was seeing someone, I was like him. I was 100% like him. I was very protective. Anybody that I was seeing, messing around with, whatever the hell I was doing, had no idea I had kids because that's
Just
none
throwing
of
your
their damn
character out
business.
there.
Yeah, why not? I was 24 years old.
Were you that
so
young?
yeah, yeah.
Wait, how old were you when you had your first kid?
20, let me see. Yeah, 21, 20, 21, yeah.
You were a baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But when did you enlist in the Marines?
In 2001, I left. January 2001.
That's a long time.
A long time ago. Bethany Brianna was born in 2000, and Bethany was born in 2003.
So when you left, she was only 1 year old.
So here's the one thing that listen, we're on the podcast. We're going to be open to the world right now. I adopted Brianna. So Brianna's my stepdaughter.
Oh, that's right. We had this conversation.
Yes,
I
yes. So for
forgot.
listen, you've had that conversation with me. For those listening for the first time, I'm her dad. Plain and simple. I'm not going to get into any more details, but I'm her dad, and that's what she sees as her dad is me. So I met her mom after I enlisted. She's my daughter, and that is it. But yeah, so even me and her divorced later on in like 2004 or 5, and so this movie comes out around 2006. I watch it, boom.
Are
I'm
you
like, oh my god.
crying?
I always cry. I have no shame in crying, friends. Good book, like Jude Law says, a good book, a great movie. Read something out of nowhere or hear a good song, I'm crying. This is just the way of the world, my friends. That's why I love rom-coms. And so
You
when
say
he
it
opens
fire. Rum comes.
rom-coms, so when he opens the door and I see the two little girls, I'm like, dude, that was me. Like it just whenever I had like someone that I trusted enough to say, yeah, you want to come by and drop that off, and they were like, or someone happened to just show up and be like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh shoot, I'm home with and they're like, oh, like the same scenario. Oh, my bad. No, 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 not like that. And then
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
give them the sneak peek, and they're sitting in the kitchen eating ice cream and cookies, and they're like, oh my god, it clicks in, like I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my kids. Those are my daughters. So very, very touching moment. And as soon as I rewatched it and I watched the movie again, I was like, it felt so good to watch that because that was me. Um, as we're nearing the end of the film, like I mentioned before, that was a really cool thing. How do you feel if you had met someone like that had kids? Would you be okay with it, or would you be like, "Ah, damn, I'm not ready for this"?
I don't think it would bother me. I think about like my mom, like my mom and dad divorced when I was 3 years old.
Mhm,
So when my mom met my stepdad, who she's no longer
mhm.
with, she had 2 kids already. So I don't think it would bother me. I'm like struggle busting here too. I think the only thing would bother me is if we got super serious and they never disclosed it. Like, I see how Cameron Diaz, like her character, she's like, well, why didn't you tell me? And I totally get that because I feel like anybody going into meeting someone, you're not going to introduce your kids right away. Cause what if you don't want these people going in and out of your kids' lives? But obviously they got introduced. But I just feel like if I would probably be surprised,
Yeah.
but then I don't know. I think it would be interesting because you have to remind yourself that you're meeting somebody who has kids and there's nothing wrong with that. But the relationship's going to be different. It's going to be
Mhm.
tailored very different. It's not going to be date nights all the time. It's not going to be like just hanging out. Like this
Yep.
person has a responsibility, and not to say you have to sign up for that responsibility as well, unless you obviously are a permanent fixture in that life. But it's a different scenario, it's a different relationship. So you would
Yeah.
have to ask yourself, are you mature enough? Not are you ready? I don't think it's a ready thing because you're never ready for kids. That goes with everything. But are you mature enough to join into that relationship?
Yeah.
And Cameron Diaz was still like, yeah, well, we're good. Let's do this.
Yeah, no, she did. I think, like I mentioned before, it was a great little added on to the script and how they wrote it, and it was really good to see again because the movie just kind of refreshed a lot of the
Well, it
cobwebs from
defined
it.
him better
Oh,
because
100%.
what she saw when she met him was a guy that just met women and hooked up, and that
Drinks.
was it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's weird because you see her, and she doesn't obviously say it when he says it, but you see her falling in love when they're laying down in their fort. And the
Yes.
little girls are just being so cute, like, you
Oh
look
my
like my Barbie doll. And they're saying the
yeah,
most adorable
yeah.
things. And she then asks Cameron if she wants, well, Amanda, if she wants to sleep over. And you could tell, like, right there, she was just falling in love because
Yes.
it's like, well, wait, maybe he's not that guy I thought about. Because a lot of the times, unfortunately, men and women
Mhm.
are so different when you start to like peel apart the onion. Like everybody has all these
Yeah,
layers. Like everyone puts up this big front and it's like, oh, I didn't know
yeah,
about that. You look at you
yeah,
playing the fiddle
yeah.
or the harmonica.
Whatever, whatever
I want to learn how to play
you
the
can
harmonica. It's pretty
peel.
hard.
Yeah, just blow into it.
An onion, you
Um,
dope. Like the
yeah,
many
I mean,
layers of an
you can
onion.
peel an onion and a grape.
Well, because you
Uh,
don't, never mind. Time
I know
out.
what you mean.
This kid
um,
doesn't know about produce.
I don't know produce.
Did you ever work in a food store?
I worked at Pathmark.
Okay, so you should know.
Yeah, yeah, of
Wait, I'm
course I
going to
know.
ask you this. I feel like every person that works in a food store knows what is the code for bananas?
Go 311.
No,
What is it?
4011.
Oh, 4011. I'm so sorry. 4011. Oh,
I feel like you'll
311.
never forget that. It doesn't matter. Like
4011. 4011.
I
Yes.
never, when I go to like self checkout, I'm like, I know
So
that.
close. So close. I missed a couple
It's so
numbers.
far away.
So far away. The film, bringing it back to, I love how we go just on these tangents. The film intertwines their journeys so well. It captured the magic of the holiday season for sure. I thought it was really cool. Like the setting, because you could put this film in any setting, but it happened to be during Christmas, so it made it even that much better, right? Heartbreak during Christmas, you find
Oh,
love during
yeah.
Christmas. You get with someone who has a little family. That above shot when they were in the fort was a beautiful, beautiful shot with the girls on the outside and them in the center. Just
Serious sport.
perfect, just perfect. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the film here. The film, the budget, it had an $85 million budget.
What?
Yeah.
Well, is it because they were filmed? Wait, because when I looked it up, I wonder if it's because of location. They said the film was primarily shot in Southern California and the villages of Cher. And yeah, so it was, that's why location is shot in both
So it's
spots.
85 million, which is quite substantial for a romantic comedy. However, the holiday gross approximately 63 million in the United States. And a total of 205 million worldwide.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what about, please, all those people in England were probably like, yeah.
Not too shabby for a rom-com, I think. They like that one. Huh? Rotten Tomatoes had a score of 50% based on critic reviews, but it has a much higher audience score of 80%. People loved it, and that's all that matters.
I think it's the characters. The characters were well picked.
Now, here's a fun fact, because I like dropping little nuggets. The holiday actually boosted tourism in both the countryside in England of Surrey and certain parts of Los Angeles. People were eager to see the cottage and Amanda's dreamy LA mansion, making the film somewhat of a travel inspiration for fans. But before we end the show, I got to tell you, that cottage stole the show. I thought it was very nice.
Is it an Airbnb?
I love the countryside. And if you have watched the movie and remember it, it's not real.
Wait, is it like
that?
Oh, it's just like a backdrop?
That Rose Hill Cottage was specially constructed for the film, then dismantled after the film ended.
Why?
Yep. The producers couldn't find a perfect location, so they decided to
that's why
build that one from scratch. Yeah.
Big. So it wasn't like legit it wasn't structured foundationally, so they couldn't keep it up.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm pretty sure they could have. I mean, they would have found maybe someone to buy it, but when you're making a movie, you're not thinking about that.
Who's fitting in that bathtub?
I'm 6'5".
You saw Cameron Diaz when Cameron Diaz is tall too. You saw when she like just plopped her legs out. I was like, oh yeah.
The holiday, man. Heartbreaks, a lot of healing. It was fun to watch. I enjoyed it. Give me your final thoughts and your candy canes. Give me that explosion of candy canes that I love so much. Deana, how many candy canes would you give it? I think that the film, like I mentioned before, had a lot of heartbreak and a lot of healing. So it was a good balance of both. It took risks, like with the idea of swapping houses and lives and just being, taking those 2 weeks to be during the middle of Christmas, by the way, somewhere somewhere remote and outside of the country. And it built on female friendships. This was a really good female-led film.
Actually, yeah, I didn't think about that. It really was.
So, yeah. But like, you know, now we don't see Iris and Amanda interact much on screen,
Mm-mm.
but just
At
seeing
the
them
end, that's
swap,
it.
yeah, yeah, just seeing them swap lives ultimately helped them both grow. And as I mentioned before, a subtle nod to the power of supporting other women, even from afar. Like, you guys had a feeling, let's just fix it. Now's your turn. Give it to me.
I was obsessed with this movie because and this like, oh god, this is like I said, it's a girl's dream. I know this sounds so princess fairy tale, but
But
I
it's
think
even
back
guys
to
who dream like this too.
okay, but I'm a chick, so I'm speaking from my
Okay,
perspective. Calm
some dudes
yourself,
are chicks
okay?
too.
Whatever. Yeah, I mean, shout out to you. You do you,
I'll
right?
take. I'm not.
You wanna wear stilettos, then you're better than me because lately I can't rock them. Um, After I got divorced, I always, like, wondered, am I gonna find someone? And I feel like this movie spoke to that because you feel like, obviously, you know, neither character was married previously, but they were in this love relationship. And you're solidified and you're with the person for so long and you know them, and then it all of a sudden like poof, it's gone. And you're just like, oh, but like I was like, oh my God, like that's what you want. That's what you want. You
Yeah.
want that like guy to come up to you and just like, let me pick this out of your
I mean,
eyelash.
pick your eyelash, girl. You got a
Actually,
booger hanging out
don't.
your nose.
I wouldn't want that because I'm a germaphobe. So if like a guy came up to me, I'd karate chop them. Like, get your nasty gangly fingers away from me. But it's just seriously though, like gross. Like coxsackie is a real thing for you people. Like ooh,
Oh,
stop.
hand in mouth
Um,
disease, get away.
but like, or just I'm thinking like I would not be a one nighter like with Jude Law. That would just never happen with me. But then the scene when she goes back and she runs back to the cottage and she opens the door and he's just an emotional mess. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not saying something about a guy crying is just like a turn on, but it just shows the emotions and all the feels. And oh my God, I was just like, yes. And
I love that.
I wanted Amanda to say, I love you at that point, and she didn't. But
Mhm.
I felt it was such a realistic story. Like, she's like, "He said it, that's fine, but I'm gonna slow my roll here. I'm gonna take my time, and I'm gonna say it when it feels right." And I'm like, "Yes."
There you go, gentlemen. Shed a tear whenever you feel like it, not
I
just
know.
because. I mean, like, shed the tears, let it out. Like, it's 2025, people. Let's go.
We just wanna
Um,
know you have feelings too. Like, that's the
yeah.
real deal. Like, when I'm crying and saying something and someone's legit just staring back at me, and it's just
Hmm. And
like, I
listen,
might as
we
well
all
just go talk to
know
the wall.
all us guys have walls. We, especially guys like my age
Break it
and
down.
10 years younger, we grew up in a different world where we weren't allowed to express our feelings. And that sucks. And that's a stigma and a wall that should be broken down. If you're listening to this, if you ever feel like, God, should I cry? Like, because I feel it, just let it out. Who the hell cares what anyone thinks or anyone even. It's just ridiculous that we have to think that way. Let's just
Think like
whatever.
Elsa.
Jesus Christ.
Let it go,
How
let it
many
go.
how many candy canes do you give this?
So this is like I'm gonna say it and then I'm gonna explain why.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because the way I'm talking about it, you think I'm gonna say 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
I I'm like between a 4 and a 4.5. It's not
That's not bad.
horrible.
I love how you've stuck to your halves this season.
Here's why. Because I loved the movie, but I wouldn't rate it as like a top fave, like Christmassy kind of vibes. Like, it's definitely a
I get
Christmas
it.
movie to me,
Mhm.
but it's more something that I personally would watch all year round versus when some of the Christmas movies we talk about, I'm gonna watch during the
During the
season.
season. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll say a 4.5 because I do truly love it, but I can't give it that like Home Alone status. I can't give it the Nightmare Before Christmas. Like,
Sure.
it's there, but it's just not top
Right.
shelf.
No, that's great. So 4.5.
Yes. I know
I
you
love
hate
it.
when I do halves because
No.
to make that half of a can't
Sometimes a half seas is okay. Guys are okay with half
people
seas.
share food, right? So share
I don't
a
know.
candy cane.
I don't talk about germophobing. For me, the movie was comforting. I felt it had nostalgia because it's so almost 20 years ago. The world was so much different back then. It gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling that's perfect for this time of the season. If you want to just have it on in the background, again, while you're doing something, you can have it on. If you have friends over and you're like looking to just, if you have a fireplace or whatever, you just want to be in a nice, comfy position where you can just throw the blankets on you and watch something. It's a great one to watch, man. Dudes, too, watch it. Don't be scared. Go pick it up and watch it.
Learn something. No offense.
Yeah. The home exchange concept in the movie, like we spoke before, actually sparked a lot of interest in real life holiday swaps. After the film's release, there was a increase in people using home exchange websites. So that was
weird.
a thing.
That's so weird.
It's remained a fan favorite because of the rare romantic comedy that centers around the women's perspective.
Yeah.
And the experiences without relying heavily on the cliches that are put out there on women in romantic films. Mm-hmm. So it's till today, it still feels fresh. Almost 2 decades in,
it doesn't seem like it timed.
No, it didn't.
When you watch a movie, you're like, oh, look at the background, look at everything. Yeah. It's old.
Or not even then. The dialogue, the way people are talking, and the way that they're expressing things to themselves sometimes ages really freaking badly. Mm-hmm. So when you see this and you see that the way that they're talking to each other, we're in a different world today, and I empower women. I'm a girl dad, so I empower women to the nth degree. Always, I want ceilings to be shattered. I don't believe in anything that could stop a woman from doing anything that they want to do, right? So this film definitely, because it's centered on giving the women the power, which it did, which is great, right? You don't have the guys taking over. You don't have the guy having the woman fall in love with you and all that stuff. So it was very much opposite, you mm-hmm. know, and both women, one in a high position and the other one living just a simple, interesting life out in a cottage somewhere in England. It just meshed very well together. It had that balance. So I give it 4 stars, 4 candy canes as well. No, you give 4.5. I give it 4 again, because it's truly not the typical Christmas film, you know,
which is fine.
It's definitely not Jingle All the Way, which I could have given no freaking candy canes. That movie owes me candy canes. I'm still angry about that film. I don't know why.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so I'm glad that we went over it. We were supposed to go over another film. I'm not gonna even mention it. But I'm glad we kind of switched it over to this one. Next week, Deana, we're gonna be talking about. Man, we're gonna go way back on this one because I believe that this is probably a movie that our parents loved.
Quintessential.
A lot. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Cannot wait to wear my sweater.
And I want to tell you guys right now that I could have easily asked Deana what movie we're going to watch, but I kind of gave up on that. So I just decided to take the lead here.
Way too long.
I know. Yeah. I took it upon myself.
Movie?
And believe it or not, I mean, the season is winding down here. Our first season of That Was Pretty Jolly. How crazy is that? Because after that, we only have 2 more films.
I'm not ready for Christmas yet. I need more time. It's going too fast.
I hate when things move too fast. You're right.
Sad.
But not here at That Was Pretty Jolly. I'm not going to be sad.
I'm just going to talk like this.
She's going to talk like that.
Now Deana, on. So it takes longer.
The great thing about this is that I'm editing it, so you'll never hear it be slow.
Yes, they will. They're going to hear everything I say. They're going to demand it.
Deana, tell us where the peoples of the worlds can find you.
What accent should I use?
Oh man, you've gone in. Let's go Polish.
Chiho Jetsko. There. That I just told you to be quiet, child.
God.
Chiho. I
Do
don't
it.
know.
I
There's
mean,
no like Pol. There's no accent, you dope.
yeah, there is. I lived in Garfield, New Jersey, which is little
Okay, and I
Poland.
dated a Polish guy for
I
many
know. I
years.
remember. Yeah.
And that's how I know like Chiho Jetsko. I don't know. No, like something better. Like that's boring.
Okay, one that you haven't done. Let's embrace your Hispanic side. Let's pretend you just got here 3 years ago. You just learned the English language. Go.
I don't know how that would sound. Because no, I don't know.
It's like, I don't think I want to insult the Latinos.
Yeah, because they're gonna come knock at my door.
Well, I'm 0 for 2 now, so you just choose whatever you want, however you want to put your social self.
I like this reminds Alex of someone he knows in his past. So I'm gonna do this accent. It's the Valley Girl.
Oh god.
Whitney.
I think I've deleted so much of this in past episodes.
Have you really?
But I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead.
Okay, so like, oh wait, like, oh, I'll do Britney Spears. Okay, ready? Kill it. Hi. So I don't know why Alex asked me to tell you where to find me. I remember, but then I forgot, and I was coloring in my book because I like to color because coloring is so great. I don't know, I told you that. So if you're on Instagram, we're still going. You can find me. It's thequeenbuzz.com. But when you go to the dot part, it's not an actual like little dot. That's so cute. You're gonna spell it because you can't do that. So it's thequeenbuzz.com. And I hope everyone will be buying my jewelry soon. It's called Be Tiny. Thanks. I wrote a book too. It's actually it's right here. See, that's me. Thanks.
You guys can follow her and just write to her and just be like,
what
are
if
you
they
doing?
want to cast me in the biopic? Like I could be her.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Probably not. My knee sucks lately. Like it's so bad. I don't have a brace on right now.
You're old. Okay. No, I'm just saying your knees are shot. You've done a lot of dancing.
Wow.
Done stage work.
Wow.
You've put a lot of time on your knees.
Make sure to return Christmas gift ASAP.
What was I going to say to you?
You don't know what to say because you're canceled. You are officially canceled. Delete.
You know what? No one ever heard that, which is great because I'm editing this. So
I will go on Instagram and I will record what just like I'll do a video what just happened and canceled.
You should do it in the that dude. What's his name? Perez. Leave Britney alone in his style, just like under a blanket.
That wasn't Perez. That was some other guy.
It was Perez.
No, it wasn't.
That's why he got famous.
That was not Perez Hilton. No, it was not. That the scrawny kid? It was not.
Yeah.
Who said leave Britney? Chris Crocker, you dope. I knew it wasn't Perez Hilton.
Same thing.
No, it's oh my god. The iconic Leave Britney Alone YouTube video by Chris Crocker sold as an NFT for over $41,000. Leave Dina alone. Can I have the money now?
That will sell for yes.
$0.
I'm not digging any more graves here tonight. You could also listen to her on 4.0ing life. How do you say it?
4.0ing life.
4.0ing life.
You can't say it. Why can't you say it?
I don't know. 4.0ing.
No.
Yeah, there you go. 4.0. 4 point.
4.0ing
Oh,
life.
4.0ing life. There we
Like
go. I was just
4.0, like your
My
GPA.
problem is that I put words together. So 4.0ing life. There we go. You guys can find her on that podcast. She has over 400 episodes, thanks to me for getting her started years ago and saying you should just do this. It's the evolution. Your blog site is great, but I think you should 100% turn your blogs and your stories into a podcast and start just talking to the people. And I think you've done an incredible job, and I commend you for sticking to
Trying.
it. And I always download it. I always find time to listen to it. I do wish I had more time to kind of like give you more ideas, but I also know that this is your baby and I shouldn't be throwing my 33 cents at it.
Do you really think
Um,
this independent woman over here is going to listen?
no. And
Okay.
this is why I don't waste my time. And then you could also find her on Serve and Spill on her Patreon, where you get a free feet pick when you sign up.
No, we don't, but stop, because Christina, I was not kidding with her. I was like, dude, you better watch yourself. You're working out barefoot. She has people
Yeah.
hitting her up
Yeah.
on Instagram DMs asking about feet pics
Yes.
and stuff. And I
Yeah.
was like, girl, do it. If they're going to pay, I say nothing under 1K. If they're going to pay, nothing under 1K. If they're going to pay, nothing under 1K. If they're going to pay, nothing under
Okay.
1K. That could be a beat. Remember the girl with the looking for a guy in finance? If they're going to pay, nothing under 1K. If they're going to pay,
I don't remember that.
1K. Come
I
on,
must have
that's a
blocked
beat.
that out.
We're trademarking it right here.
Follow me by just heading over
Thanks for coming to my show.
heading over to alexiscardoza.com, where you'll be able to find all of my links for everything that we're doing. Follow the channel. If you're listening to this, follow the Gegghead channel on YouTube.
Can you make a beat for that?
Yeah,
like I want to make a
Gegghead.
parody. No, that's a different parody. Like I make a bunch of jingles, but I want that to be a beat, and then I want to do a parody, like on if you're gonna sell feet pics, and that's the beat.
Oh wow. So follow Gegghead, and we got a lot more going on. We have a new show that we're going to be launching in the new year.
It's like you pinch your nose.
New as That Was Pretty Jolly starting to wither down here, and season 1 is almost in the books. We got some really, really, really fun stuff coming.
Are you gonna cry?
Under the That Was Pretty banner. So, am I gonna cry for what?
I was like, is there gonna be a show that was pretty tangent?
This has basically been that.
I should have a podcast called Miss Tangent, like just because I can't focus.
You should just and
then all my ADHD friends.
That's
will join
right. Yeah,
me.
yeah. That's
all my ADHD friends will be my.
That wouldn't be a poop show at all. I didn't want to curse, but yeah, it's not that I can't, but chose not to. So yeah, and you can follow That Was Pretty Jolly on Instagram, and yeah, that's where we're posting all of our fun stuff. So
jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell, snowing and blowing, so fun. Now jingle has begun. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet.